Hi, Linda Anderson here from Linda Lou Creates. And I know I say it all the time, but I really am so happy that you joined me. Today, I'm going to share with you how you can take one background stamp and create 3 cards. So let me tell you what I mean. So first of all, the background stamp. The one I'm using today comes from Stampin' Up's mini catalog, Breathtaking Bouquet. It's really beautiful. I love this one. Now, what I did was stamped it on a piece of cardstock. Let me fit my piece back in there just to give you the idea. It is a 5.5 by 4 1/4 piece of white cardstock, and I just stamped it in the Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Now, I went ahead and used a scalloped square die and cut this piece out. Now this piece measures about 2 3/4 of an inch square, okay? So that's for card number 1. I'm going to show you then what I did for cards number 2 and 3 here in a second. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and let's get to work on card number 1. That's this one right here. So, the thing that I like about this is all of the pieces are the same. The card base is my top folding card that I love so much. And we're talking then that it is 11 inches by 4 1/4. The score line is at 5.5. That's where you'll fold it. Now, I've gone ahead to save time, adhered the next pieces down. I love layers, so that's why you'll see a lot of them. And I love it that when there's just like an 1/8 of an inch margin around then. So we have now the black, which is 5 1/4 by 4. The white here is just an 1/8 of an inch smaller, so we're looking at 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And then I have a piece of black again that is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Now, I don't know if you can see that I ran it through an embossing folder. It's called Subtle. And it is just that. It will give just a little bit of subtle texture onto there. So, what I want to do is adhere this down to the front of my card. All right. So, I'm just going to go ahead and get my liquid glue. And we'll get this adhered. All right. Straight down. I like the liquid glue because it gives you some wiggle room. I call it. It's just a chance to be able to reposition if you have to. All right. Now, I have taken this piece that I did the scalloped square die that I cut out then, and I've put some, not adhesive, how about I put some dimensionals on the back of it. I guess it is adhesive. Now, you'll see, yeah, I did. There's 2 sides to every piece of paper, so obviously I goofed up on the one side, so you're going to see that on them all. So I want to look and make sure that I'm going in the right direction, what looks best for this. I'm going to go ahead and set this down. Now I have a sentiment on a little strip here, and my sentiment comes from, it is a 2-box set, and it is called Itty Bitty Greetings. All right, let me get that in here. Now, I just went ahead and stamped that again in the Tuxedo Black Memento ink, just on some Whisper White, and then just trimmed it out, okay? I have a dimensional on it because it's going to hang out over the piece that's already popped up. So let me go ahead, and I want to have it flush to the side here of my black layer, the top layer. So there we go. Now I did think that a pop of color, a very small pop of color, is what I wanted to do. So I thought I'd go with the red rhinestones, because black, white, and red, I'll tell you what, that's a favorite of mine. So I'm actually going to put 3 on here, so I will put them kind of on each end and then slip the one in the middle. Excuse me. and kind of fuss with it to make sure that it's straight. Okay, card number 1 done. Now, to get on to card number 2, I need to actually bring in my paper trimmer. So, here we go with that. So, I'm going to slip this back in, or slip this in here. Now, I'm focusing on this strip here off to the side. I want to cut that down. It is going to be a total of 1 inch is what I'm going to use off of this. Now, what I want to do from that 1 inch is, first of all, I'm going to flip this around so I can show it to you from this side. All right, so I'm going to just cut it down. First, I'm going to cut it at 1/4 of an inch. All right, so that's up there. And I have 1/4 of an inch. Now, let me slide it on over to the 3/4 inch. So this is what is going to total my 1 inch then. Okay. So let me set this off to the side. We'll get back to that piece in a moment. That will be for card number 3 then, that last bit there. Now, here we go. First thing I got to do is kind of figure this out. Nope, that's not right. So I got to make sure that I have it back in the way that as if it was still together as a 1 inch strip. Okay, so that's how that's going to be. Let me set that up there. Now I'm going to bring in card number 2. Like I said, same dimensions with my card base, with my 2 layers of my black and my white. So we're talking 5 1/4 by 4, 5 1/8 by 3 7/8, and again, this 3 3/4 by 5, I ran through the subtle embossing folder. So before I adhere this down, I'm going to go ahead and, oh, I should have trimmed this down. See, I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to make this 5 inches. So let's go ahead. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to adhere it down and trim it up with my scissors. So let's just double check, make sure I have it going the right way. And nope. And yes. Okay, so first thing I want to do is take this thin strip, the one that measured 1/4 of an inch wide, get some glue on that, and I gotta make sure I'm doing it. Yeah, there we go. All right, I'm gonna adhere that down. Okay, and like I said, using the liquid glue gives me a little room to make sure, wiggle room to get that going. So here we go. Yep, I'm still doing good there. Let me go ahead and get some glue on the back of this, and just kind of side by side here. I am going to leave a bit of a gap in between. Okay, so here we go. Let me just go ahead and trim this off now. Okay. I should have done it this way before, but there's always a fix whenever we make mistakes, right? When it comes to card making, there is no such thing as a mistake. It's only a way to embellish. So, all right. So now I have the front piece done, and it can go straight down now onto the front of the card. Okay. Well, let me bring this in. And here we go. Now, I do have a different stamp set that I'm using the sentiments from. It is called Peaceful Moments. And I thought I would turn this one into a sympathy card. So I just went ahead, stamped my sentiment just on some scrap white, and cut it out with my circle dies, the stitched shape as well as the layering circle dies. So I adhered them all down, put on some dimensionals, and now I will pop this into place. Yes, I am going to add some red rhinestones to this to get my little pop of color. So I like to use odd numbers, so 1, 3, 5, any of those. For me to put 5 on is a lot, so I usually stick to a 3. That seems to be my favorite number. So, and okay, there we go. Card number 2 complete. Now we're going to hit up card number 3. So I have this piece left over. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this down here, of course, this big piece. So let's just trim that off for now. What I have done is, again, all of this is the same. My top folding card, my black and white layers are the same. Here comes this black layer that I have cut out. Again, another scallop square. And this one measures about 2 1/4 inch by 2 1/4 inch. So it's going to be fun because this time this is going to be popped up and this will show underneath. So it's just a little something different. Now the only thing you got to make sure is that what you have on there, you have them going in the direction that you want. So let me see which way I want my flowers and leaves to go. I think I like it this way. Yeah. Okay. So here's what I recommend here. Now, I'm just going to set this down. It has dimensionals on the back, but I'm just going to set it here. Go ahead and put some adhesive on the back. And again, I recommend using the liquid glue. Holding this in place, I'm just going to lift it up and slip this underneath. I want to make sure that it is all hidden underneath. I don't want to see any edges of this cardstock here, this white with the background stamp on it, to show through at all. I want to make sure that it's all covered up by my black piece here. Okay, and that one seems to be. I always think it's funny then. I'm like, oh, it looks great. And then when I lift it up, look how crooked that is. But it's okay. It still is going to fit nicely. So don't look if on the back here, if you are one who doesn't like a lot of dimensionals. When it comes to something this big, I like to use a lot of dimensionals. Well, let me just say I like to use a lot, period. But when I like to make sure that there are plenty around my opening, I just don't want anything to sag down in. So no saggy cardstock here. So here we go. We're going to go ahead, set this down. Your piece there that has the design on it should be in there just right. And there we go. Now I'm going to turn this into a thank you card. Once again, those same itty bitty greetings. I went ahead and did a little strip of that. Now I am going to, that's where I'm going to set it. So let me put a little bit of liquid glue here on this side. I have my dimensionals over here. Okay. And again, I'm going to have it flush to the edge of the black cardstock that's on top. All right, we're almost done. It just needs, and this time I'm only going to put one rhinestone on there. That's all really I have room for, and I like the look of just one. So there we go. So with one stamping of the background stamp onto a piece of white cardstock, we were able to make 3 cards. So let me bring them back in. So here was one, here's one, and here we go with the other one. So there we go. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching today. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing too while you're here to my YouTube channel. I'd really appreciate that also. Visit me on my blog. It's lindaloucreates.com. And I show even more projects there. I have a newsletter, and if you want, you can even sign up for that as well. So thanks again, guys, for joining me, and I hope you get a chance to create today. Stay safe. Keep on stamping. Bye now.